Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the south corner of the map, playing in blue, we've got beastyqt playing as the Jushi Legacy, and his opponent in the north, playing in red, we've got, I believe it's loutmt, we've got good authority to say it is. Either way, we've got the Malians playing in red, and, well, we're on dry Arabia, ladies and gents. An interesting matchup, and I'm excited for this one. I don't think I've seen this one before, because the Malians for a long time have been hailed as a very strong civilization, primarily eco-wise, but also army composition-wise. They've got two very special units. They've got the Donso and they've got the Javelin Throwers. And of course, they've got great economy with the cow boom. The Jushi Legacy, they are no strangers to economy booming. That is for sure. I mean, ultimately, the Jushi Legacy have access to the Song Dynasty, have a really good cheap farm transition. Can, you know, essentially, I mean, with the Jushi Legacy, often, when you need food, they can just pump down those farms and they're laughing. Sometimes you look away for the Jushi Legacy or you look back and all of a sudden there's like 20 farms, 30 farms. So food is not usually an issue for that civilization. They can often open up with multiple town centers as well, with the Song Dynasty making it cheaper for them. Either way, the Malians, this is going to be a cool matchup because the Malians can be very strong at a specific timing as well. If they do mass up a lot of units and the cow boom together, it can be a very big force to be reckoned with. Speaking of forces to be reckoned with, you guys are absolutely phenomenal. Have been supporting so much on YouTube and Twitch alike. Very much appreciated. Holy moly, that's a lot of sheep coming in there for Beastie, I've got to say. But yeah, thank you for all the support you guys have been given. And plenty more Age of Empires 4 content coming your way, of course. Plenty of casted games. Not many sheep here left here for the Malians. Got to be careful on that. Make sure it doesn't run out. I'm sure it won't, but that's a lot of villages on food as well. It's going to obviously peel away a couple to build the landmark, and here come the sheep. Just as well they come in now, because there's a couple of villages there. They've been snoozing. Yeah, just pull them away just so it doesn't kill them too far away from the town centre. It's going to be the meditation gardens coming out for Beastie on the west side. Going to be getting access to the berries, the wood, and the stone. A very nice positioning, for sure. Now, setting one villager does look like it's going to be a Song Dynasty play. Kind of have to with the Jushi Legacy in many ways. Now, sometimes you do see the Jushi Legacy being a bit aggressive in the feudal age, but you tend not to see it against a civilization like the Malians, because, well, the Malians can boom away with the cows. I'm actually kind of interested to see which civilization is a bit more of the tempo aggressive with it. It could go either way, because you don't really want the Malians to be cow booming. At the same time, you don't want the Jushi Legacy to be booming up with the villagers. I guess it comes down to the playstyles of the player and who wants to feel more confident about their economy as time goes on. Now, I'm pretty excited by the prospect of how well the infantry can do here for the Malians, for the Donsos and Javelin Throwers, because, well, the Jushi Legacy, the Chukunu is obviously an option that they have. The Javelin Throwers would make sense against that. The Zhangliang Tower can be put down for Beastie, just to complete that Song Dynasty, and also we'll be giving him some free units once he does put some production buildings down. I wonder if he's gone on stone just yet. Not yet. But he will be getting some stone anyway, from the Meditation Gardens. That will help him get that second town centre if he so wishes to do so. Now, it wouldn't be unheard of to see sort of a big feudal age aggression from both players, because it might be on both their minds thinking, well, I can't just let the opponent boom away. Speaking of opponent, both players are just riding past each other with their scouts. And there's that feudal age for the Malians. Now, we did go up with the Mansa Quarry, as you'd expect, so plenty of gold will be coming in shortly. 75 gold per minute. How's it going, Terrafeu? Yep, loutmt is certainly getting great at the moment. It's nice to see, it's very refreshing. That is for sure. Imperial official working hard, picking up the tax, and he's going to be walling up on the west side just to protect the meditation gardens, but more importantly, actually, I love the walls here for Beastie. The walling potential is actually phenomenal. I mean, take a look at this. Look at the base he's got. I mean, just minimal investment into palisades, and he's laughing. Unfortunately, the deer camp's a little bit further out, but he's got a deer camp back at home here in the corner. So that's absolutely fine. Walling palisade to the wood lines, and he is rocking and rolling. He's got a massive chunk of the base of the map secured by those walls if he needs to get them. And he's got 3 gold veins in that area, and also the deer camp. So just map spawn wise, it feels like Beastie might be playing a bit of a booming approach. I mean, he's got the perfect map for it. Literally, quite literally the perfect map. The cow boom has already started for the Malians. And it's getting a decent amount of stone now. Did get the mining camp in the end, and I'd be interested to see where he places the second town centre, actually. I feel like it should be on the deer camp here at the back. But it might not be. He might place it a bit more further forward just to make sure it's acting a bit of a static defence as well. Yeah, he's going to wall up, and I think he's going to place it back here at the back. We'll have to see exactly what he decides to do, but that's probably what I would opt to do, and he's going to get an outpost on the front as well, just for that extra vision, extra protection. And get hand cannon slits as well. So it certainly looks like it's going to be a bit of a booming fest here for both players, and I think the Malians feel confident about their ability to boom as well. Well, I've said that he's got 2 production buildings. He's producing army. It's going to have to be a case where the Malians are going to try and do some damage early on, and doesn't quite have the wood here for Beastie. I mean, he's going to be obviously getting those palisade walls first and make sure he's safe and secure, and then extend his economy. I gotta say though, because of the aggression coming in from the Malians, it has delayed that second town centre for the Jushi legacy, and at the moment I would argue that the Malians' economy is actually stronger at this point, even with just 3 cows. Now, the passive income is going to be good here for the Malians, of course, with the Mansa Quarry, but also the pit mines, 2 of them now, up and running. So it's going to take some time. In fact, it's going to place a very condensed economy, something we see often now with most civilizations, because it can be very greedy to go for multiple town centres. Going to get an outpost on the west side as well. How's it going, Sassy? Hope you're doing well. Oh dear. Well, I mean, he's going to try and break through. He's going to break through slowly, of course. Going to make sure that doesn't happen again, Sassy. Nightbot has a bit of a mind of his own sometimes, so I don't think you can ban mods, so I just put that as a mod so it doesn't happen again. On the west side, going to get an outpost a bit further back just for the extra vision and protect that gold vein. But yeah, it's going to be greedy. Getting the deer camp at the back. So this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to certainly be a cow boom versus a Jushi aggressive expansions and aggressive play on the economy. Now I wonder whether loutmt actually commits any further. I feel like he probably shouldn't, because it's very difficult for him to do too much more damage. Especially with the condensed economy and how it's placed with the 2 town centres. It's going to be tricky for him to get much more value out of this, and it seems like he's recognised that as well and looking to just scale that economy. Going to get a couple more of those cattle ranches and should be on his way to the castle age relatively soon. Beastie up by 3 villagers, as you'd expect. But at this stage, has broken through. It does have a hand cannon slit, so we'll pick off the scout, which is actually fantastic. Reduces the vision for sure. And I like this initial aggression, by the way, because it's going to try and do some damage against at least protecting, or at least reducing the amount of income coming in from the meditation gardens, at least somewhat. Maybe you would do well to just leave 1 unit there, but decides actually wants to try and maximise his potential at doing damage. And whilst he might not get any villager kills, by the way, this is still hurting Beastie in some ways, having to force out all these outposts and emplacements. Just delays his booming up a little bit. Struggling in gold so much, and the javelins do pick off a villager in the end. He's got 2 so far, and they're a great unit, by the way, the javelin throwers. Got an incredible amount of range, 6 tiles range, and they've got obviously good ranged armor too. Means that they're a nice unit just to dive in with. Especially with the lack of cavalry from his opponent. And even if there are cavalry, he's got 2 Donsos. It feels like the amount of damage he could do from here is a little bit more limited, and he is now opting to go to that castle age. Looks like Beastie might head there a little bit quicker, although he's struggling on the gold somewhat. But he does have supervision with the Imperial official, so that'll certainly help in that regard. Scout heading on the east side, and just got more cattle ranches, and he'll be good to go. Looks like, yeah, I mean, Martin's actually going to get there a little bit quicker, at least in terms of starting the production of the building. But Beastie, considering he's playing the Jushi Legacy, they do build faster, so there's always a chance. Depending on the number of villagers, if he decides to invest a lot in, might get there a little bit quicker. Although that Grand Fulani Coral is building very fast. 12 villagers on that. Now, Beastie opting for the Mount New Academy. Going to be getting some really nice, unique bonuses and upgrades for the Imperial Official. I'm going to go for Palace Guards, it seems, with triple barracks production coming out soon, and it may even actually supervise one or two of them. Looking to get that map objectives, those sacred sites secure, those relics secure. I like this play, actually, because obviously Lancers is always a bit of a tricky situation going up against Donsos. I feel like the ranged attack that the Donsos give them is so strong. It pushes their enemy away from cavalry. And so it's going to go for those Palace Guards instead, which is not a bad option for the Jushi Legacy, I've got to say. As options go, they've got decent movement speed, obviously decent attack, and it's a highly armoured unit as well. And it's something that forces the hand a bit for the Malians. Might need to think about getting some Musafadi warriors. Because of course the Malians don't get access to the crossbow unit. And it forces the Malians a little bit in terms of a decision-making process. Still getting a bit of value there. Might actually snipe out another villager with the javelin throws. Doesn't quite manage it. Manages to escape with 4 HP, and the Palace Guards will take care of that. It does buy some time for the Malians, and I wonder if he's going to get a couple of those monks out or not. Going to go for a couple of Sofa first, and the Sofa will do decently well against the Palace Guards. It could be another option alongside Musafadi warriors, or like just Sofa instead. And there's that mosque going up for the Malians. Palisade walling up, and Beastie's economy is starting to scale quite nicely. I would say that they're possibly neck and neck though, because don't underestimate the power of the cow boom and the passive gold income from the Malians. But give it another couple of minutes, and while Beastie's economy certainly will be ahead, and he'll be able to pump out units for sure. The Soft are going to chase down those 3 Palace Guards. But more on the way, and here come the monks out for the Jushi Legacy. Looking to get the one furthest away, actually, by the way. That's kind of greedy, but he might get away with it. It doesn't feel like Louis has spotted that. Takes out one Palace Guard, and a straight-up fight, Palace Guard versus Sofa. There really is only one winner in that, and it will be the Sofa for sure. Takes the engagement on the front lines. There's a couple of the Palace Guards tanking against the Sofa, but with only one Sofa remaining, the Miners might have to back away. He's got a couple of javelin throws, focusing on the Spearmen first. But the Palace Guard numbers are decent numbers, but take a look at the reinforcements coming in a good time. And here are Musafadi warriors. Makes it more difficult for those Palace Guards to get too much more value. Unfortunately, the Imam probably should... Oh, it's going to be a bit of a race there. Oh, he just about gets there, Beastie. But something that I think that the Miners should deal with, of course, sending units back. Although Beastie might try and hide him. Go around the east side. And 2 relics have been picked up by Beastie. We shall see if he manages to get them both back home. He's going to get a third as well, potentially. Something the Miners going to need to try and track and chase. He's sending the army now as we speak. Now this one possibly will make it back home, and so will this one. That's 2 in the bag so far. Going around the corner. There's a big pick-off here by Beastie. 2 relics not to be underestimated. Going to try and get the third as well. Sofa should be able to snipe him. One of them comes off. I don't think he gets it. The monk goes down. The Spearman chase. The Sofa heading back home. Musafadi warriors engaging. There's not enough of them. Beastie decides to not engage though at this point. He's quite happy to make sure he gets the economy scaling. 3 relics about to be coming in, and well, 2 at least. This one going right to the corner just to make his way back around, and he should get there eventually. Now let's talk army composition. Mostly a lot of Musafadi warriors actually being added here by Louis. Great against Palace Guards, but Beastie's kind of tech switched out of it. Gone for mostly Spearmen and getting some Nesta Bees as well. 70 villagers versus 49. But what's great about the Malian economy is because, of course, the cows and the passive gold income doesn't take villager population space, and that means you could get more population space for army in their super late game. Not so much relevant at this stage of the game, of course, because it's not as if they're reaching population capacity. But something to bear in mind if this game does go super late. Palisade walls being built up once again for Beastie. Trying to make the most of his second town centre expansion. We'll lose a couple of villagers here, though, which is great for the Malians. Not meaningful amount numbers, though. Oh, good Nesta Bees shot off there. That's a good start for Beastie's defence. And with the Nesta Bees there and being spotted, I'm sure Louis would probably potentially be considering a siege workshop for some of those springalds to counter. We'll have to see how he addresses the problem of the nest of bees. Going around on the east side, and where's that monk with the relic in the end? Has he come back? Oh, there he is. Oh, it might be picked off in the end. This could be a good pick off here by Malians if he's paying attention. Will he spot it? All good path. Looking to do the waddle. Oh, he's going to dive this. Oh, yeah, he gets. I mean, there's too many units there, but it was a nice try nonetheless for Beastie. It's only going to be 2 relics so far. Around the back, though. A couple of palace guards going just to see how much value they can get, but 2 Musafari warriors will catch up to them. Going to try and snipe out 1 villager. Might get 1, possibly, but I think it should be okay. No, he won't be able to get even 1 at this point. On the right side, but a second nest of bees comes out. And this poses a problem for the Malians. You can't really push with the threat of the nest of bees there. And I don't see Siege Workshop just yet for Louis. Oh, 2 nest of bees. Going to focus on the Imam. The Imam does go down. So it's not going to be too easy for the Malians to escape with that one. And in fact, I don't think he will. Beastie will keep hold of this one. Just too many units. Although the population of the military would suggest otherwise. 73 is pretty decent there for the Malians, but it's got a lot of his army on the west side dotted around. They're heading across. It looks like the Malian spam really starting to escalate on the west side. Looking to burn through. He's really pumping here, Louis. A lot of units on the field. Now here comes the farming transition. Relatively cheap though, of course, for the Jushi Legacy. 45 food, holy moly, it's so cheap. Stone walls are up. Again, makes it very difficult for the Malians to push in. Now, I would love to see the sacred sites coming in for Louis because he does have a lot of map control. There's no reason not to get them. He is now. Oh, we've got to back away here, Louis. Oh, he takes a massive shot with the nest of bees. Might take a second. No, he backs away in time. Just as well. Second shot there could have been devastating. Speaking about second shot, well, 2 nest of bees about to unpack and shoot. Louis, is he going to spot it? Oh, he's going to take some good hits there. Beastie slowly but surely defending, but 102 military. Yeah, the Malians are starting to get to that critical mass of units. We talked about this earlier in the game, how they don't necessarily need to spend too much population space on villagers. They can just spam units, and looks like they're heading in that position, but he needs to be careful. It's difficult to break through. Oh, that's another good nest of bees shot there for Beastie. On the west side, though, he's broken through. Diving in a little bit with Musafari warriors. The spearmen should take care of that in the end. That's a good number of spearmen there. Sofa, a little bit irrelevant at this point, although some have broken through. Going to snipe out one of the nest of bees. That's absolutely huge. Still another nest of bees alive, though. Javelin throwers looking to try and snipe as many of those spearmen as possible. He's diving in. Musafari warrior is getting great value, I've got to say. There's villagers there dying, and he's killed 18 so far. Nest of bees still doing damage, but it's up against javelin throws. And javelin throwers do pretty well against them, in terms of tanking, at least. Musafari warrior is going to the farming transition. Spearmen going to push them away. Nest of bees still alive. Trying to get a keep here defensively, Beastie. Trying to defend as much as he possibly can, but he's killed 26 villagers, which is absolutely huge. That's massive amount of eco damage has been sustained. Villagers on that woodland going down. Javelin thrower is getting so much value, even with 1 nest of bees there. And yeah, he's just focusing on the villagers. Killed 30 so far. That's absolutely immense. And yeah, sure, Beastie has had more villagers for a long period of time, but he's down to 68. And the Malians have got full map control. I would love to see this third sacred site being taken. Maybe even a forward keep. Doesn't have any villagers on stone yet, so that won't be happening anytime soon. And that keep will buy him some time here, Beastie. It will protect that farming transition, keep the food eco alive, which is very important. He's going to need to spam out units to defend. The question is, what does he get? The Musafari warriors really changed this fight in many ways. We talked about how critical that could be, and he's not been able to find much of a response. He might need some ranged units at Jushi Legacy. Doesn't really have the ability at this point. Doesn't have the production buildings for it. Wanted to rely mostly on the nest of bees, but it wasn't enough. Not against these numbers. I would love to see Louis just get a couple more pit mines as well on the gold veins that he has access to. Although a couple of units headed on the east side for Beastie, making sure that he has some semblance of some map control. Or at least some map positioning. Some map presence. But that's a lot of Musafari warriors. Holy moly. Now, the big issue for Beastie is he might be lacking wood in some stages of the game. Got 700 or so in the bank, but once he loses this wood line, his other wood lines are very far forward and it's always pressurable. It does look like it's going to get that third outpost in the end there, Louis. Just activate that mid-map objective, that sacred site timer, as a potential win condition. Round on the back. Palace Guard still torching. It's going to be the Fort of the Huntress. Relatively far forward. I love this positioning. And he's really making the most of the map control, right? Going to get the two... There are 2 tiles of 8,000 gold on Dry Arabia. And there's something you really want to be able to protect and control at this sort of 22 minute mark of the game. Whenever you play Dry Arabia, think 20 minutes. You want those 2 gold veins in your control if you can. And Beastie having to just shore up the defenses on the right side and playing very compact economy. I mean, gold won't be an issue for a while. It's got 2 gold veins still alive and ready to be taken. But with 3 Sacred Sites, gold income's going to be looking very strong for the malians. Doesn't even need to spend any village time on it. It's still getting 800 gold per minute. And it's very strong as we switch over to the income per minute. And the Imperial Age tech up is going to be very significant because Beastie's not there. He's just nowhere near that. He needs army. Now you might be wondering, well, how does Beastie come back from this? It's very tricky because ultimately when your opponent goes to the next stage, you want to be aggressive against them. You want to punish them for that tech up. Doesn't really feel like Beastie has the ability to do that, although he is punishing in the north. Pushing a couple of villages away from farms, but they're going to be working on other things, and we've got Mustafadi warriors to deal with that in the end anyway. He does deal with it. Pretty safe and secure at this point. The sheer number of units here for Mali is looking so good. ESO Empires, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Appreciate it. We're just watching some Beastie versus loutmt, I believe. It's been a great game so far. Welcome, Raiders. Hope you guys enjoyed your time over at ESO Empires. Well, we're going to be seeing this game out. I mean, it's going to be concluding pretty soon, I would have thought, because there's so many units here. Take a look at how many Mustafadi warriors are out there. Beastie he's going to need a gigantean hold. And there's that tech into the archery range, right? He's going to go for Chukunu. Better late than never. He's got a couple of Nestor Bees to hold him there for a while, but he's definitely going to need to scale quickly. If there's a civilization that can do it, though, it probably is the Jushi Legacy. He's going to get a couple of free units from the Jiangnang Tower for this as well. But he's going to have to get a big push in soon. He needs to deny the sacred sites as he can. I love the addition for the outpost. No arrow slits in play just yet. But the Suffer will do well against the Palace Guards, and he's moving his way out now. Beastie not looking to hang around. They get a decent number of spearmen pushing out. Mustafadi warriors might look to engage that. I think he takes his fight. I mean, it should be a great fight for Louis. He's got elite Mustafadi warriors against just veteran spearmen. And yeah, this might be a bit of a throwaway of these units, I've got to say. Beastie is trying what he can to try and deny the sacred sites, but can be peeling away. It's kind of interesting. He sent more Mustafadi warriors for these 3 spearmen. Yeah, he's going to readjust that now. And he will deal with it. But Beastie having to try and play in his little corner here for a while. Build up a force to be able to go out. He's trying to do some damage with the spearmen, but the Mustafadi warriors are catching up. He might get a couple of villager kills here. It's pretty key that he does that, actually, because this possibly is one way back into the game. Gets a decent number of villager kills there, I've got to say, overall. I mean, that's a pretty decent usage of the spearmen. They've probably paid for themselves already. With all 3 sacred sites in control, I think it's more about keeping the army away from his base here for Beastie, really. Mustafadi Warrior is going to head back onto the front lines, and he is now looking to get the emplacements, a cannon emplacement, just to make sure that sacred site is safe and secure. 7 minutes or so on the timer. Here come the Chukunu. Their veterancy status at the moment. But here comes the elite. Interesting, villagers being pulled away. curiously enough. I think they're going to stone. Yeah, it looks like it. He wants more static defenses. He wants more keeps, and understandably so. It looks like he might be opting for that sacred side victory. There's only 7 minutes or so on the clock, so it's always a possibility. Beastie pushing out a little bit further, looking to get a keep and see if he can get a little bit more of the map back again. But an outpost there for the malians and a ram as well. In fact, he's going to go for the west side, which is probably the hardest part to break in, but I guess Louis likes a challenge. Coming on the east side as well, so double-pronged attack from the west and the east, looking to go both ways, and he's got enough stone for a keep, by the way, so it'll be interesting to see where he decides to place that down. A marked lack of siege, and it's fully population capped. As villagers head forward now. Looks like he might be looking to just torch his way through, possibly, here. Safari warriors, about to... Well, yeah, they're not going to be able to break through, unfortunately, although that's not really a fight that... Oh, is he? Yeah, he's going to get through the gate there eventually, but loses a couple of those palace guards. Safari warriors chase, and... Yeah, BC's just sending a couple of units here and there just to try and deny the sacred sites, but it's pretty well defended. Mostly with units, in fact. 2 Nesta Bees. Oh, he's going to be breaking through with a ram for now. Thank you, Crypto. Appreciate it for the sub. Thank you. Very kind of you. Thank you for the support. I fought with the Huntress as well. I mean, there's a lot of palace guards that just didn't make it through there. Unfortunately for him. Yeah, the full map control, certainly in favour of Louis, and with only 5 minutes on the clock, I mean, BC's going to need one big push. I think that's what it's going to come down to. The question is, where does he go for? Does he go... I mean, it possibly is going to go for the east one. It's been poking and prodding in that direction for a while. And with the keep going down the middle is going to be very tough to get hold of. The west side already has a keep on it as well, and yeah, you can see the play here. A second town set edge came out for the Malians. And he's edging towards a third keep, potentially here on the right side. He's already got cannon in placement, so whichever route he goes, it's going to be tricky. His Safari warriors on the right side, so the Malians, they spot this. He knows where he's going now. But that is a lot of Nesta Bees. Now, if there's one thing that can turn the tide of a fight, it is 5 Nesta Bees. This could be tricky for the Malians. Oh, trying to get around. Going to delete that for sure. But with 110 military on the field for the Malians. And look at the economy as well. 1,700 food coming in still. With only a handful of villagers on them. 12 on food. That's kind of crazy. The cow boom is just... At this stage of the game, I feel like the Malians have got the stronger late game, I've got to say. Because it's not only the income, it's more about the population efficiency. He can just have so many more units on the field at any given moment. And with only 3.5 minutes left on the ticking timer of the Sacred Side victory, he's going to try and get a keep to be a staging ground to attack with. And an outpost too. Here come the Chukanu. But I don't think he has enough. I mean, even going up against Mustafadi Warriors, this could be devastating. He's going to try and get a wrap around. This could be the big fight that we need to see in this match that dictates the win outcome. Oh, he's going to back away. He kind of dove in a little bit and then backed away. He's going to lose a lot on the retreat. Looking a bit rough. Villagers going to be building that keep on the right side. They do build faster, which is certainly helpful to Culverins snipe out most of the siege. And oh, that's absolutely huge. Losing the siege like that is absolutely phenomenal. And well, those Mani and Safari Warriors will get peppered with arrows. So Beastie will win that fight overall. But can he hold his position? That's the question. Keep goes up. He's got to find a way to deal with these the Malian keep as well. But the flood of units coming in for Louis. He's trickling them in. Down to 53 military, which is not looking great. Obviously, you had the direct counter unit there, Beastie. Looks like the Malians getting some villagers there on the sacred site, getting another keep as well, just to solidify this position. Is heating up once again in this game. A lack of gold there for the Malians, got to say, which is a bit unique. Wasn't expecting that with 3 sacred sites and also 2 relics and the pit mines. But it's because he's spending everything. He's really still spamming out Mustafadi warriors. He's banging his head against the wall, and a couple of villagers will go down on the keep there, but that's okay. He gets to keep up in the end, and the big problem for Beastie is that he's got to deal with these two keeps. He's got nothing for it, really. No siege. He's lacking the resources he needs. He's going to try and camp on the sacred site. He will decap it, but at what cost? That's the big question. He's got boiling oil, which is really significant. Cannon placement just become outside on that keep on the east side as well, which is definitely going to help. This is tricky. On the west side, breaking through. We'll take the meditation gardens, which is a bit of a thorn in the backside, but the real key issue is here. A decent number of mangonels too is going to be fine. He's going to get some stone walls as well, just to narrow the angle of attack. Has two bombards, which will help. That's exactly what it needed. But the culverins on the field here, two of them. They're going to look to try and snipe that down. Does deactivate the sacred site, which is absolutely huge. And that means he has to go back to square one, the Malians, and regroup. And, well, Beastie, you might have a win condition back again. If he can keep pumping out those units, well, things have changed. He does decap the sacred site in the end, and that's an absolutely massive play. He's got to be careful not to lose his position, though, because it's kind of his first time he's got out of the base, really, in a long while, and he needs to capitalize on that. Head on economy, head on military. All of a sudden, it's looking a little bit trickier for the Malians. Going on the east side and on the west side, look at the Chukunu making a move forward, and he's not going to make it too far across. Well, he's going to just go right underneath the Fort of the Huntress. This is not ideal for Beastie. But now we're definitely going to see a tech switch from the Malians. He can't keep going on the Mustafadi warriors. That's going to be one way to throw the game. He's got two mangonels that are not deployed. That's unfortunate. Loses one culverin, about to lose another. Could this be a massive swing? Beastie playing this fantastically well, but a lot of decisions need to be made. Oh, that's a huge mangonel shot on those Chukunu. He lost so many. Some of it was because of the mangonel, some of it because of the cannon placement, but either way, it doesn't matter. In a blink of an eye, loads of those Chukunu just absolutely decimated. He's going to go around the east side to raid once again with the Mustafadi warriors. Now, will this be an opportunity for BC to tech switch out of the Chukunu to try and read and maybe just consider that the Malians might be tech switching themselves? But it feels like no need to change anything just yet if you're the Beastie, because he's working well so far. He's keeping up with the Mustafadi warriors, and probably just as well, at least on the east side, because there are a couple of palace guards. Looks like Louis believes in the Mustafadi warriors for now, at least. A couple of Chukunu on the west side, going to kite as best as they can. Down in the middle. No real way forward there for BC just for now. Villagers being absolutely shredded to pieces by the palace guards. Mustafadi warriors will take care of that. But all of a sudden, the pendulum has swung. It's now BC's turn to push out. He's going on stone. Maybe to get another keeper. If he gets another keeper in that gold vein, that is absolutely huge. He needs that gold vein for sure. And this is going to be interesting. Now, there's still a strong chance of the Malians winning this. And just hear me out. Late game Malians, they do have passive gold generation. The Jushi Legacy don't really have that. They do have Imperial officials that can certainly help. But he might not need that because he's getting a keep on this east side. And that's another bit of stone and gold protected. All of a sudden, this is looking tricky. Louis, he's going to be facing up against Rams as well. Beastie bringing all the show-stopping pieces to the game today. Oh, Mustafadi warriors going a bit too close for comfort. It's going to lose a couple. On the west side, I love this approach. Just keeping a couple of units there just to deny this as much as possible. We can't get too close, though, because of the Fort of the Huntress. The Malians will clear that up, but mass siege coming out. Now, that's certainly a play for the Malians. Got to make sure he keeps it alive, though. Has stonewalled once again. Dealt with a little bit of threat on the west side, but this is the big threat we're talking about. Oh no, the palace guard's going to dive on top of the siege. That is absolutely huge. He hasn't kept it protected at all. Loses. Going to lose at least another mangonel. There are a couple of villages that could repair, actually, buy some time. He might not lose all that much if he gets underneath the keeps. It will lose one more mangonel. Palace guards focusing on the culverins as well. One more culverin should go down. Well, maybe not. Might just about survive with it. Villagers coming out to repair is absolutely clutch, by the way. Maybe Louis knows what he's doing. Maybe it was a bit of a bait. Maybe he had it in his plan all along. It's a risky plan nonetheless. Stone has been taken out. Going for gold this time. Again, trickling in some more units, and he's just losing a lot. That could have been a lot worse there for Louis if he lost the siege. He lost a couple. Now, good thing he went for that second town centre, by the way, because behind all this, Beastie has had some success in killing villagers. Killed 38 so far. His second town centre for the Malians will help with the booming up again, and he needs it. Got plenty of food in the bank. This is where things are a little bit tricky, right? He's got plenty of gold here, the Malians. It's something that Beastie's kind of suffering with. Despite having access on the right side. Gonna get a massive raid here. Beastie has to be careful. If he doesn't spot, this could be problems. The pathing a bit of an issue around that meditation gardens. Oh, this could be a massacre. Oh no. Beastie, please spot this. Please spot this. Please spot this. He's not spotted this at all. Oh, this is an absolute massacre. He's focusing elsewhere, and understandably so. He's going around the right side. But in a blink of an eye, he lost so many villagers. The Chukunu will take care of that. A couple of palace guards here on the right side, though. Hopefully, the miners pay attention and spot that. Gonna lose the keep. And he's about to lose the second. This could be a problem now for Beastie. Because that maybe he's running out of steam. 90 military versus 51. Lost a lot of villagers. And wood is going to be an issue before too long. I think gold is the bigger issue. Musafari Warrior is going to try and dive on top of those Chukunu, try and gap close. But take a look at this. Asafa, a great tech switch is exactly what he needed against the Chukunu. Going to get wrapped around the villagers mining gold. And Beastie's going to be cut off gold. This is absolutely huge. And it's going to kill a lot of villagers. Musafari Warriors might get involved once again on the Chukunu as they are focusing on the Safa. 89 military versus 48. Beastie might just be running out of steam. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Beastie taps out. It was a great push out in the end, but overall, the Marlins' late game economy looking a bit too strong. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast of the game. Take care, and see you next time.